I'm like a bird, just wanna fly away. I don't know where my soul is. I don't know where my home is. Oh, baby, I'm gonna need to go. I'm like a bird, I wanna fly away. I think I just made up some of those words. Hey, Maggie.
Hi.
What's up?
What song is that?
It's, what is it? Nelly Furtado. I'm like a bird. I feel like if I played it, you would know it.
Promiscuous girl. No, it sounds familiar.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh, Maggie, you sound
Do I
so...
sound...
You sound so...
Oh, it sounds...
Maggie hasn't been feeling well
I guess
today.
I lost my voice because I'm not doing it on purpose, I promise.
Maggie texted me earlier. She was like, oh, I'm not feeling too well. And I'm just like, oh, let me know. We can reschedule or whatever. No. She's like, I slept. I feel fine now. I'm like, okay, cool.
Someone tried to kill me yesterday. I don't know who it is.
Ooh.
No, because I had a long day. And so I was like, fuck it. I'm going to get Taco Bell. And so I got Taco Bell. I ate it and immediately felt like my throat hurt afterwards. So I was like, either one of you hoes in there is sick or... I don't know. I mean, that's the only thing that made sense. I was feeling fine. Or maybe someone at work was sick. Actually, that makes more sense that somebody at work was sick because you don't get immediately, whatever.
Yeah.
So I took today to just sleep. This morning I felt
bad.
I woke up and my head hurt. It felt so bad. I had a 9:30 meeting and I woke up at 9:45 and the person was waiting in there and I had to message him and be like, I'm sorry, I don't feel good.
Oh my gosh.
And so I called out and I've just been in bed all day.
Well,
but I slept a lot last night.
You just needed more rest.
I sound so sad.
You do. You're like, well, I'm here. I'm Maggie. I'm here to record a podcast.
I ordered some food on Uber Eats and I tried to give the girl directions to my door and I saw her going the wrong way and I was like, hey, it's this one. And I was like, I can't talk.
Oh my gosh. That is funny.
And that's crazy because I've never lost my voice before.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever heard you lose your voice.
So it must be the start.
Someone
I don't know, man.
Put a hex because they saw you were in your podcast bag and that we've been talking about future plans. And they're like, get rid of her voice.
No, I definitely felt like I was on the up and up yesterday. And then it was like, no, sit down.
It'd be like that sometimes, though. Life. I felt that way with working out and eating all week, kind of. I've been eating so good, but today I did get Huey Magoo's for dinner because I was just like, it just sounds good, so I got it.
Yeah, I think it's okay. Balance.
It is. There is balance, and it's just like, look. We should be able to get Taco Bell. We should be able to get Huey Magoo's. And we shouldn't lose our voices just because.
Yeah.
And it's just rude. And I'm sorry.
Yeah, me too. No, it really is y'all need to let us stay home because why do I go to the office and come home sick?
I'm saying.
Who did it?
Who did it? Who did it?
And I wash my hands every 2 hours at least. I'm in and out. Who did it? Which one of you hoes got me sick?
No, I feel that too because I've been in the office 3 days this week. Today's Thursday, so I was in Monday through Wednesday, and I'm exhausted. I'm like, this is too much.
Do you find that on weeks where you're more stressed and you're sleeping less that you get sick? Because that's almost notoriously what happens to me.
Yeah, it's usually those days or whatever. If you're not properly resting your body, you know.
So I'm over here blaming people, but it's probably my fault. Because on Friday, I stayed up until 3 a.m. working.
Oh, my gosh.
And then Saturday, I worked more.
Maggie was working crazy last weekend.
It's been a really busy work week, so.
Well, hopefully, when does it ease up? When's the thing?
The event is on the week of the 7th.
Okay.
And once they go, most of it is done.
Okay.
They'll be in... Shit, where is it? I don't know. Somewhere in Europe,
not here.
Somewhere in Europe. So they'll be ahead of time.
Oh, yeah.
So when I get online, shouldn't be a whole lot going on.
That's good at least. And the 7th is basically tomorrow.
Yeah.
Essentially.
We have a week.
Yeah.
So.
Well, that should be good at least. So that's good. That's soon.
Well, thanks for your patience and understanding today, Brandon.
Of course, Maggie. You know me, a beacon of patience, understanding, and kindness.
I'm kind of just tired of the there's always something wrong with me. I personally feel that way. Like, if it's not my toe, then it's my mental health. And if it's not my mental health, then it's my physical health. And if it's not my physical health, then I'm just sleepy. It's like, when am I going to get a break?
I feel that. Sometimes it's just like a cycle. I'm like, can I ever just be?
I think that's just what life is, and I need to be to accept it. But I'm like, no. Somewhere, someday, somebody somewhere goes to bed at the same time, wakes up refreshed every day, and has a great day. Someone does.
Yes.
Just not me.
It's not I. I think we need to, at some point, reflect, take inventory of our life, and see what's working and what's not working. Mm-hmm. And then I know a big thing for us is our jobs.
Yeah.
We say it on every podcast episode.
No,
so
really
if you listen, y'all know.
It could be that we're millennials, but I honestly feel like I want to enjoy that part of my day as well. I don't want to loathe it so much.
That's the thing, and we should be able to.
Yeah.
We're just not in the right position to. Mm-hmm. But that's okay.
Yesterday at work, they want me to become the chair of a committee that hosts events for employees, recognition and stuff. And I was like, maybe I should do that, because that actually sounds like a lot of fun. Because I gave them an idea and they're like, you have ideas, maybe you should just be in charge of it. And I was like, not all of it, y'all just want to give me stuff to do. I need time. But that kind of was like, oh, maybe I can make my job a little bit better by adding this.
That could be. That sounds fun.
Yeah.
All right.
We'll see.
Well, but with that being said, hey y'all.
Oh.
Welcome to the Shade of It All.
Hi.
I'm Brandon.
I'm Magdala.
And we are here to be shady and make it clear that Summer House, Bummer House.
This season is not giving it.
Okay, did you see the mid-season trailer?
No.
Should I send it to you real quick?
Please, I never see anything. Can we watch it live?
Yes, let's do a live watching. I'll send it. Where is it? It actually looks pretty good. I'm not gonna lie, but thank God it seems like it's picking up a little bit. But also, who knows? At this stage, I feel like they're just lying to us at some point. Okay, y'all. So we're gonna watch the mid-season trailer live.
Okay. Oh.
I'm terrified of this labor. You're not going to feel anything, even if you tear or kill yourself.
Shit.
I would never have thought I would not have kids by now.
There's some days should I even have kids? I'm not suited to take care of something else. Jesse got his toe sucked? Yeah. You're making it seem like I'm some crazy jealous girl. When you let a random girl suck your toe.
No one's gonna hate you if you do what's best for you. I'm just nervous. It's gonna be like you're such a bitch.
You guys have been messaging since last summer.
This is crazy right now. This literally is 9 months
You
later.
have a terrible judge of character. He's getting mad at me about flirting with you in the club. So, is that later this season?
Flirting with West?
My God.
Is West crying?
Do you bring home girls like
Wait, I'm sorry. What did Carl say?
Oh.
Do you bring home girls like this in your own home? Because it's obnoxious at this point.
Jesse's embarrassed that he shared his real feelings. Jesse Solomon. Don't even do that.
It was a joke.
It's not funny. He says to me, I really wish you didn't do this before you saw the ring. What? In my head, I was like, this is why we're breaking up, because I don't know if you're lying right now.
Ooh.
Dang.
All right, y'all. I can't. There was so much happening. Why is Carl confessing his love for Ciara?
Why did I clock both of those?
You did. I didn't think he was going to go there for some reason, but then he did.
And then the way he's doing it, he looks so bashful.
He does.
Let him down easy, Ciara.
I wouldn't be mad at them together. There's worse pairings, I think.
Yeah, there was a lot there, though. Okay, so we know the Craig thing is gonna happen already.
Yes. So we're gonna get that last scene was when they picked up cameras, and then we see Paige crying, Ciara crying and comforting her. Jesse's apparently gonna try to make Lexi feel crazy because she feels a way about him sucking or getting his toe sucked.
Yeah.
Which he's stupid. We'll get to that. I love that Ciara is randomly calling out Imrul. He just catches a stride. She's like, it's obnoxious
that he brings so many people.
Yeah. No.
I'd be like, yes, mother. What?
I know, right?
Tell me how I need to live my life, mother.
And it's funny because he was just on Watch What Happens Live, and he said the person that's the most his type in the house is Ciara.
Of course,
So
she's
I'm like,
stunning.
I know, right? Yeah, and then Lindsay's gonna call out Carl.
For what?
I guess because he was texting Lil while they were still together, but I think they had just met when they were together.
Who cares? You have a baby now.
I don't know. I gotta say, I'm a little over Lindsay.
Yeah, me too. Even her talking
And I
about
hate to say
Carl
it.
this episode surprised me. I was like, pause. You care?
Yeah.
Since when? You made it like a big thing to make it clear that you didn't care. At least
Yeah.
I felt like that's what she was doing.
I know. And then, like, the other thing, Kyle's saying he imagined his life with a kid is rich. Considering last season, when Amanda was saying she wanted a kid, he was like, I just want to make sure we're solid, and I don't know if we can yet. And, like, I don't know.
Oh, he's annoying.
He's the worst.
And him talking to Schwartz about it, of all people.
Yeah, why is Schwartz there?
Yeah.
He's got to go.
Why does he look like that?
We didn't want this. This is not what we needed.
And then, yeah, that was pretty much.
Yeah, I think that was...
Oh, something about West and getting upset with Ciara, maybe?
Yeah, I think Lindsay was saying something, and then Wes like cried. She was like, "Did you confess to being a two-time liar or something like that?" I don't know, but I'm like, whack him again because he was annoying this episode.
Yeah.
But no, I'm like, I was feeling that mid-season trailer. What?
The comments are funny. Toe is a euphemism, right?
Oh yeah, because they dropped the mid-season trailer before this episode aired.
Oh, okay.
So people didn't realize that he actually did get his toe sucked. Even though, I don't know if something else happened, y'all.
Shorts was a jump scare. Anyone else? Just me? Okay.
He really was. Like, why?
They like did not pick a scene of him looking the greatest.
He's like in costume, just like looking ghostly.
Okay, my qualm with the episode is y'all hyped up this conversation with Craig and Kyle. Craig and Kyle have things to talk about. And the conversation lasted less than 5 minutes.
That part.
And they were being really mature about it.
It was so stupid. I really
was
was
like,
like, this is lame.
Production told y'all to draw it out.
Yeah.
They had to because
it's like, so, because the episode starts and it's the end of Paige and Craig's conversation. And then Kyle comes by and he's like, "Can I take your spot?" And she's like, "Yes, thank God, I fucking hate him." So she gets up and she leaves. And then Craig is like, "Oh, I'm gonna go to the bathroom real quick or get a refill." So he just decides to like go upstairs, take his time, use the restroom, get
he's
some
in the
chips,
mirror fixing his hair,
answering some emails, get another drink.
I didn't even realize that he left Kyle down there.
It was
like,
so
what?
long that it was like, oh yeah, he did.
Craig is an asshole. I don't like him.
No, he is. And especially when they showed before the conversation, he was like talking to West and Jesse, and he was like, "We pulled Loverboy from all the stores."
And they're like, really?
And everyone online was just like, "The pillow stores? You have the Loverboy there?"
I was like, he sells alcohol? I need to ask Brandon.
Craig, I didn't know he had them at the store. I don't know what he's talking about.
What store?
He has a
sells
store.
pillows, you said?
Yeah, he has a store in Charleston called Sewing Down South. And it's like has pillows. I think he has other like homeware stuff and stuff like that. But like, I don't know.
I love how everybody was like, really? Instead of being like, you sell it? Where?
Right. I'm like, is there like a grocery store? I don't know. But so yeah, then he finally sits and talks with Kyle. And Kyle's instantly like, oh, like I just want to make sure we're like good and like everything works out. And so like we can resolve this because also for our girls and everything like that. And Craig is like, yeah, about that though. I fucking hate you and you need to apologize for what you said about me. So we're not cool unless you say sorry.
Yeah, like if you're not sorry for what you did, then we can't move on. It's like, okay.
Right. And honestly, although I think Kyle is technically right, I kind of liked Craig like kind of strong arming him.
Yeah.
I feel like sometimes Kyle needs that.
Because they went through it and he was like, Kyle wanted to counter deal. And Craig was like, no, I was just letting you know that I was doing a deal. I didn't care about your counter. And I did it anyway. Because I wanted to. For myself in my bag.
And
so,
that's that.
And that's so I didn't actually think Craig was wrong.
He's not like, I just want to know, I guess if he did lead Kyle to believe he would consider a deal,
yeah,
I could see why Kyle would be upset. But I think ultimately about doing stuff with another company, he's not wrong.
Yeah.
Like, do what you want. Like,
right.
Loverboy is not like the end all be all of canned cocktails. Like,
yeah.
So it's like, who cares? But yeah, and then basically they like make up because Kyle does apologize. And Craig's like, thanks. And I didn't want to hurt you.
Yeah, he's like, I've been really, I've been wanting to resolve this. And I'm like, that's not the energy y'all have been giving when you're in your conversations in private. But sure.
Kyle's like,
I guess it's over.
Yeah, Kyle's rage texting Paige. Craig's telling Paige, it's not going to be good. And it's just like, then when they meet each other, they're just like, hey, y'all. What's going on?
Actually, let's settle this. Come give me a hug, man.
Why can't
give me a hug. I love you, man.
Friends? Why can't we?
And they hold hands and sing Kumbaya into the sunset.
How sweet.
No, it's like all bark and no bite.
Yeah. Meanwhile, while they were having the conversation, because was that it for like Kyle kind of this episode?
Yeah.
Because
he's just a bystander for the rest of it, listening to what everybody else is doing.
He puts on like a shark costume at some point. And I'm like, that's fun. Jesse and Ciara. What did you think of their conversation?
Okay, so they're in the floaty talking, and he's like wanting to know if like she can move on from West, but also at the same time really wanting to flirt with her.
It's confusing.
And I was like, huh, okay. So she tells him, okay, let's talk about the West thing first. She's like, yeah, I don't think we'll ever be like back to where we were before. I think he used me. I don't 100% know what she means by that.
I think because his reasons for ending it initially were like show related, I think she feels as though he used her to kind of like have a storyline or like be featured on the show more or for like attention, like that he maybe had ulterior motives in some way, which I will say, seeing his behavior now and how he's like hooking up with random influencers and out in these streets, he is kind of a clout chaser. And he himself said he liked attention. So quite honestly, although maybe at the time if people didn't agree with what she was saying, his behavior afterwards proves to be something. And also it just seems like him this summer and last summer is like night and day. Like I think she's really just like, I don't even know who this guy is.
Okay.
So that's what I think, at least. They didn't show, so like I thought they would talk about it more in the after show, but they kind of talked about it, but not really. And they didn't show like half the after show.
Talk about the using thing? Yeah,
like the using and stuff. It was just West being like, well, I just felt vindicated kind of because Amanda said that nobody thinks that about me. And I'm like, is that what she said? Or did she just really?
I was going to say, I didn't hear Amanda say that. Did you?
I didn't hear it unless it wasn't showed. All I heard was she felt bad that you were sad.
So that's annoying. But then they flirt and I'm like, okay. Yeah. But then I feel bad for Lexi while it's happening. So I'm just like, oh, damn. So, I mean, they're just having a conversation and he's like, oh, My voice is okay. They're having a conversation, and he's like, why didn't we hook up last summer? Or why didn't we like get together last summer? And she was like, well, you didn't really shoot your shot, kind of thing. And he's like, so they're just like kind of talking about what could have been. And I was like, this is a little risque.
It is, because his only reason was because Wes called dibs. And then she was basically like, you can't let that like dibs stop you from meeting your soulmate or whatever. And I'm like, ooh.
And that's a loaded thing to say too. Not just yeah, it happened. But she's like, yeah, you can't it could have stopped you from something good.
Don't let your friends do that to you. But then she was like, but you're basically married now. And then instantly he goes, you're right. It was like instant sadness.
He came to. He was like, you're right.
Mm-hmm. He was like,
he's sober. He's like, right, Lexi. Lexi's gonna see this. Let me stop holding your hand.
Someone, I think it was Emily Hanks. I always shout out She's Speaking with Emily Hanks, but she posted something on Instagram and she's like, Jesse's such a love bomber because he'll call Lexi 50 times a day, but in between he's telling everyone how he wants to be with Ciara and then like flirting with Ciara. Honestly, if I was Lexi, I'd be watching this like, like what the fuck? And like, I don't know. He's leading the charge for sure. And Ciara doesn't not engage, but I will say they acted like this when she was with Wes. Like it's kind of like their friendship, like flirty.
No, we've seen that from Jump, which is why at first I was like, oh, they're kind of cute. Because then for the rest of the night, they like dance together and they're like flirting with each other. And then people are commenting on it. Somebody, I think it was Paige and Amanda are talking about it.
Yeah, Paige and Amanda, I think Craig joins in. They're just like, they are not just friends.
Yeah,
like, they
there's
are
no
flirty.
way. Do you see the tension? Wow.
Mm-hmm.
He outright says it to Craig and Amanda outside too. He's like, yeah, I would have totally like, man, I love Ciara. She's so hot, this and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And then Wes walks up behind him. He was like, hey, we were just talking. But he doesn't say what they were talking about.
No, he's keeping it under a wrap.
Jesse's messy.
He is. And
he's really messy.
Because they flat out asked, they're like, would you date Ciara? And he's like, oh, yeah.
Of course.
I'm a heterosexual man. So, yes. And I was like, all right.
Yeah.
But then he tells West about what Ciara said. And West instantly is like, what the fuck? Like, are you kidding me? Like, it's so hurtful that she thinks this. Like, oh, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, well, maybe if y'all would stop trying to push it and act like she's trying to be your friend simply because she says hi to you. And then, like, literally, because Jesse's even like, is there a chance that you could be friends and we could have our friendship back? And she's like, no. Like, I think this, and I'm just, there's a boundary, which is totally fair.
I think so.
She's not going out of her way to say it to people. She literally was approached and asked.
She answered a question.
Yes. And she's not like trying to make his time bad. She's being cordial with them when they interact. Like she's not being rude. And so that's why also when West is venting to Amanda later that night,
so annoying.
I'm like,
he's like, I'm tired of her telling all my friends that I used her, and she's like going around telling everybody this thing, and it's like, she said it to your friend Jesse, dumbass. Oh, I hate West so much. Yeah. He's so annoying.
I just feel like I've been like so like respectful, like, and it's just like,
really?
I don't know.
And when you're talking about her behind her back all the time, but never actually confronting her about anything.
This is like the 8th, I don't know why I'm doing a watch. It's like the 8th conversation you've had about Ciara, not to Ciara.
You keep wondering, I wonder if we're good now. She left at my jokes. Why don't you go actually have a conversation? The problem is that he hasn't really had a real conversation with her about all of this stuff. She confronted you in public. You had a brief spat. That was it. You decided to just go about your business, but you never really got to the meat and bones of why she's upset with you. So yes, I get why hearing this could make you upset, but you didn't actually address shit with her. So you can't, you're just gonna be the victim, like, oh, she's still mad, I don't get it. You never actually hashed it out with her, so you're not gonna get it until you do. And if Jesse asks her a question, she's gonna answer it honestly.
Right.
Oh, he's dumb.
And it's just like, once again, you're proving her point about how you care about what other people think of you instead of actually fixing whatever was going on between them. Because his whole thing is like, you're villainizing me to everyone, and I don't think people think that, but I hate that you're saying that to everyone. And it's just like, if you have to get through that because I didn't want to date you, like, that's fine, but just like, don't be like rude. And it's like, again, you're worried how you're being perceived, and then you're showing your true side with being like, it's just because I didn't want to date you. And it's like, that's actually,
that's
again,
not even close.
Of all the issues with it, the ending things was the least bad.
It's because it was a surprise to her. She was blindsided by it. It happened. And then you went on to tell everybody but her the reason why it happened. That would confuse anybody. His emotional intelligence, he's a little boy. Like, I honestly feel like, Brandon, she has to spell it out for him. Somebody does.
But I don't think he can read. I don't think he can spell.
He doesn't get it.
This isn't going to work.
He doesn't get it at all. Like, somebody needs to be like, you didn't talk to her. He's like, but I spoke to magazines. You're right. Not to Ciara.
But I think I was respectful. No.
It wasn't respectful. No.
You weren't.
That's why she's mad, actually. She's mad because it wasn't respectful. Yes. Like, I really think he doesn't get it.
I don't know how else you break up with someone. Not like that. Gosh, okay. We can't spend any more time on him. He's getting too much attention. He likes this attention.
No, and it's like, it's almost like a self-fulfilling prophecy, because I think in his head he's like, oh, she's slandering my name to everyone, and then Jesse tells her this, and he's like, she's so vindictive and upset, and it's like she's literally been unbothered for like 2 weeks,
right?
And she was answering a question. But sure, she's slandering your name to everyone. I hate people who live in absolutes. You do something once and they're like, you always do it. You say it twice, they're like, you do that every afternoon, and
this
it's like,
is a pattern.
Bitch, 2 times.
And also, even just to dive deeper in just a little of what her answer, she didn't even sound like any type of way when she said it. She was just like,
it wasn't like she cried.
Yeah, there
was no malice. She was just, quite frankly, no, I don't want to be his friend. I feel like he used me. I don't think we can go back to where we were before. But let's have a drink. And they danced together for the rest of the night. Right. Also, yeah. Jesse is that friend that you need to, like, keep away from your girlfriends.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
he doesn't care.
I was like, this is gross. Like, it kind of made me sick, because I'm like, you just got done telling. So you talk to her for your friend, right? You tell your friend how it went. But you actually don't care about that. And you're really cool with just flirting with her and dancing with her the whole night. Even though she's your friend's ex. You didn't even ask. He hasn't asked Wes explicitly, like, would you care if I dated Ciara or whatever? Because he's supposed to be engaged to Lexi. I don't know. He's annoying.
He is. And then his whole thing this episode, we can get more into it with when we get to Imrul. Do we want to talk about Imrul?
Sure.
I mean, in the party, he's pretty like... He's there, but is he there? I feel like I forget.
Yeah, he's like kind of in the background.
Yeah, but that's because he was warming up, because his time to shine was at night. So, because they all go out, even though they seem sloshed. Like, Jesse could barely walk, but they still go out. And then when they come back, once again, Imrul's with Casper, and we're not seeing who.
Yeah.
But apparently he brought 2 girls home, and he was engaging in a threesome. And for some reason, Jesse was like, I'm going to go in there and see what's happening. And it's like, okay.
Why would you do that?
Yes. And so he does. And then it's kind of just like, it sounds as if he's just saying hi, trying to meet them. But then it goes 37 minutes later. And then you kind of see what looks like, I'll say it looked like a condom was being thrown. I don't know. And maybe that part of it was misplaced and not 37 minutes. But I don't think they're making up the 37 minutes. And then he leaves. And it's like, why were you in there for 37 minutes?
Watching? Yeah. Why did... There's a lot here.
There was.
Why did Emma let him stay?
I don't know.
Was it just like a... Yeah, hey, you... Come on in.
Why not?
There's a spot here for you if you want to join.
Well, because apparently what happened was Imrul was hooking up with one of them or both. Unclear. And Jesse was sitting at the end of the bed. And then Imrul told the girl to suck Jesse's toe. And then she did. And then we heard audio where he said, and now I'm hard. And then, but he didn't mention that when he was telling the producer. And they were even like, he was like, I think I was just barefoot. And they're like, no, you went in with your socks on. So I don't know, because that happened. It just felt icky.
Yeah.
And although him and Lexi aren't boyfriend and girlfriend, that's still fucked up. I don't care.
I think that Jesse didn't expect to be in a relationship that's this serious this fast. And
You wouldn't know that from his first weekend.
you wouldn't. Because is this week 2 or 3?
3.
Okay.
I think we'll say 3.
Yeah. And so like I think he's still like enjoying singlehood, but not like registering that he is like made these statements and kind of made these promises to Lexi in a way, you know? And so he's like still wanting to live out his like what do you call bachelor like summer,
Yeah,
you know, to hang out with Ciara and have fun with Imrul and whoever he brings home and stuff. But it's like you're not.
it's weird because he's 32.
He's like feral, honestly.
No, it's wild. And like
you flirt when Lexi's here, you're all over her. When you call her on the phone, you say you're like horny for her and you miss her. Because what did he say? I jacked off before the party. I was like, ew.
who said romance was dead?
She's like, you did? I was like, ew, you guys do this a lot.
Stop.
And so he's talking to her, and when she's here, she's all over her, and then Ciara, and he's like, why not with Ciara? And then he goes to the club and does who knows what. Like,
Yeah.
he's just trying to be this single guy, but then it's like you're playing in Lexi's face
No, but for
on
real.
national television.
And it's just like, and even when he asked Craig, he was like, how do you like stop like looking at girls? And I'm like, well, I don't know if the looking is the problem. You can look, like, I don't know, just
Yeah.
like don't be rude and like weird. Like, I don't know, but it's just like don't hook up with anyone. Like, but he's just like, how do you just stop everything? And Craig says, when you find the girl you would cheat on your girlfriend with, that's how you know you found the one. And it's like,
That is gross too.
interesting.
Maybe don't ask any of these guys.
No.
Go to someone serious. But yeah, he's acting like it's annoying when like we've talked about this before. He is pursuing Lexi 10 toes down, met her family, did all this stuff and did all this stuff and did all this stuff just to be on the fence.
It's crazy.
It's insane. Like, I don't know. I really don't know what to say for him other than like I really don't know what to call it.
I don't either. It's wild. We'll
Yeah.
say wild, and we'll see, because I just have a feeling it's going to get even worse the rest of the season.
Yeah,
and he
'cause
said it on Watch What Happens Live. He
that it
was
gets
like,
worse.
I think the season's going to get worse for me. And it's like, I'm sure.
Yeah, so he's Schwartz for sure. It's giving like
I could see that.
I had no idea. I just I didn't even think about it like that. Oh my gosh, you know.
It's like,
Lexi, I love you so much. I mean, I like you so much. Like he just the way he
Oh,
behaves.
shucks. No, he's awful.
And then she just ended up sucking my toes. I don't know.
I don't know how we got there. It's like, huh? I can't.
And it's also weird because earlier in the day they're like sexy hairstyles, and he's like, she didn't want it, so he's like, I'm good.
Yeah,
But I guess
she's like, don't do that.
He was like,
Paige. What the
earlier
fuck?
somebody mentioned toe sucking. Gotta get it done
The way it came full circle.
before the sun rises.
That's crazy.
Very crazy.
Who else? So that was him. And basically he's kind of, by the end, he's kind of telling the girls something, but he's not owning up yet to the toe sucking.
Yeah.
But I'm sure he must at some point.
Yeah, because it's not, she finds out.
Yeah, it's not a secret. So
I feel bad for Lexi.
I do too. I'm like,
It's always the guys that pursue you so much, but then it's like, I don't know.
They
Like, what do
end
we
up
need?
doing the
Contracts?
worst.
We need contracts. Like, we need to say,
Cynthia Bailey friendship contract. We need that.
here's a talking stage contract. In the talking stage, you don't do all the things you did for the past 3 weeks.
No, but
Throw it out. You can't do it. Relationship contract's different, but this is definitely not what you do when you're talking to somebody.
no.
Especially when they can see it.
I could never, because if we're talking, we're basically married. And so fuck that.
Right. Like, wait.
I mean, if we're in a situation where I'm able to see what you're doing, then yes.
Right, because Lexi's made her stance clear. I am the jealous type. I do like my person to be about me. Like, he knows this. And he had a chance to say, actually, that's not what I do when I talk. But he didn't say it.
He didn't. And also, I don't know if he's aware, but there's a camera. And it's getting all of this.
There's one here, over there, even back here.
All around. So even if she doesn't find out right away, she's going to find out at some point.
You stupid man.
I could never be in something on TV because if I get embarrassed like that, I'll fight.
Oh,
like,
I could.
I can't. I'll be like this. I have to fight you. Like I can't not. Like on TV.
It's like a bad. Instead of like these civil conversations, we have like a bad girls club reunion.
I'll
type.
set up that reunion like baddies. They let them take the floor. They move the rug so they don't slip. Saucy Santana's counting down. I'm doing it like we have to fight. Like
you embarrass me. I gotta do something to get my lick back.
Yes.
You made me look like such a punk in front of all these people.
I gotta do my big one right now. So there's that. Carl and Lil are flirting. I'm so uninterested in everything that has to do with them. His sandals are rope sandals.
Oh, I didn't even know
tan
this.
rope sandals. Offensive.
It's such an innocent little interaction, and then like her parents come and pick her up, and I'm like, what's happening here?
I don't know. And at the first I was like, oh, is he gonna meet the parents? And it's like, no, the whole thing is he met the parents.
Yeah, he knows them
and
already.
then like, so I was like, okay, that makes sense, I guess. But I guess they live close by.
Yeah.
It just felt weird because she looked like she was like holding a backpack. Like she had the little pack, like lunch pack with the cherries, it looked like. She's like, my parents are here. He's like, let me go meet them or let me go say hi.
But last episode, I thought she was gonna stay the night.
Yeah.
Because didn't she get invited? I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, it seems cute, but
apparently.
it
what?
doesn't
Sorry,
last?
no, you. What were
I
you
was
gonna
gonna
say?
say, do you think she's Carl's type?
I don't know. I would say
It's giving like girl next door.
yeah. I don't know. I feel like he likes a girl deep down with more of an edge. And she just seemed nice. Because like before, like, you know, Lindsay had an edge, Paige had an edge. He dated Mackenzie from Love Island.
Wait, that Paige?
Yeah.
He dated Paige?
They like hooked up her first season, and by hooked up they would make out in the pantry. Yeah.
I can't see it.
It was a different time. Carl was a different person. Watching old seasons of Carl was quite jarring, I will say.
Yeah, this Carl is very like
timid
and shy.
He used to be
Like
the
Jesse?
worst. Kind of.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm surprised. Okay.
It was horrible. But Paige was just like, you don't talk to me during the week and you clearly just want to hook up with me. So no, I'm dating other people.
Yeah.
And he was like, I just feel like she's playing me. And she's like, anyway.
Moving on.
She's like, period. She had a bob and everything. She was so amazing. So yeah, that was it with Carl this episode, right?
Yeah, but you were gonna say but something.
Oh yes. After show was revealed, apparently she messaged a few people from Summer House. Like got in the DMs of a few people from Summer House.
The cast?
Yeah. I don't know if it was other guys. I kind of don't remember. Or if it was other people. So it seemed like maybe she was trying to like
get on the show?
Yeah.
LOL.
So I don't think it ended up working out.
Carl, I'm so sorry.
Which I wonder, because in the mid-season trailer, when Lindsay says you're not a good judge of character, I wonder if it's revealed she was messaging other people. And then she's just like, you were messaging her and you fucking fell for it. Or something like that. I don't know. But,
it's not right for someone to message someone else while we're together. But since we have baby in tow and we made it clear that we're moving on, the fact that she's gonna address it is just kind of annoying. Like, I think, Lindsay, you just want something to talk about on the show because your whole stance coming into the house was, I'm moving on. Look, I'm gonna put my ultrasound up and I want the upper hand and everybody's gonna know that I don't care about Carl. And then you're gonna be like, but you did. Bitch, pick one. Can't be both.
Yes. And also, like, context is everything. What were the messages?
Right.
Like, I'm sure they were fine.
Yeah, if he had a friendly conversation with somebody, that's one thing.
Yeah. And also, I'm going to put this out there since we're on Lindsay. I found her scene to be boring and was a pause in the episode.
No, I was like, wait, Lindsay, you're talking about Carl? This doesn't make sense.
And then it's just like showing, and I just think Lindsay's, no one finds Lindsay more interesting than Lindsay does. And I'm like, if this scene was your audition to be on The Real Housewives of New York, maybe you shouldn't be on it. I mean, you're still better than I think a lot of that cast, so maybe for the drama's sake. But as far as this individual part, and I don't care if this comes across bad, look, I'm happy for Lindsay that she's having a baby. And I think that's nice, because in the after show, she did cry, and she was like, look, I'm making new memories in this apartment with my daughter and all this, and getting rid of the bad ones. And I'm like, that is sweet, and I do appreciate that. But just these scenes, like in the actual show, where it's just like, oh, and then this, and then I'm saging this, and then all this, and then
You're saging it now?
Yeah, and I'm just like, she's on the phone with her Aunt Rhonda. And
I thought that was her mom.
No, remember, she doesn't have a relationship with her mom.
Oh, I was like,
no.
fuck.
No, she thought her
talk.
mom left. And remember, it showed that scene where she was like, the phone works both ways, Mom.
Oh, yes.
So she had Aunt Rhonda.
Her aunt was super supportive.
She was. And that relationship is sweet. It just kind of, for me, it put a lull in the episode because there was so much kind of happening at the house.
Yeah, I was like, why'd you guys give this to her?
Yeah.
I don't know. Her scenes feel very orchestrated to me.
They do.
It's like, okay, so I thought that Carl would like be upset, but he's not. So maybe I should be upset. Okay, great. All right. So I'm going to get some sage. Sage after how many months? You already have the baby inside. You don't even like, you didn't sage your apartment after. So I 100% can empathize with, I had this with one person. I lived here with one person and now they're not here and I want to move on. I get that. But it doesn't seem organic. Why would you be doing that? How many months later, Brandon? 6?
So it was,
or 7, 8?
At least 8.
Yeah, almost a year.
Yeah, because they showed the
sage?
flashback of like 8 months earlier when they took the Rad House sign down. And that's my problem with Lindsay. Lindsay's a fan favorite, and I get it because she would like wreak chaos and all that. But there was always something with her where I couldn't feel like I could connect with her. And it does because she feels kind of orchestrated and just rehearsed.
Yeah.
And just like, I don't know. And like people bring up she used to work in PR. So she's good at like spinning a narrative.
I could see it.
Saw that after the breakup when she was trying to have her Ariana press tour and go on every podcast saying she was blindsided and trying to have her moment in the sun. And I'm like, look, I'm not going to say anything because I've already made it clear that I don't know if she was blindsided. But it's just kind of like, it's very like, there's an angle at everything. And even seeing her trying to get on Real Housewives of New York and seeing her like comments and post with one of the people, I'm like, so Andy was in some interview. A lot of people online are like Paige and Lindsay for Real Housewives of New York. And I'm like, I don't know if Paige would want to, or even if she like should, like, I don't see her on Real Housewives. I don't even think she really wants to be on reality TV anymore. But regardless, I'm like, I don't know if I could see her on there. But maybe Lindsay, I guess I could see because like she's like kind of transitioning out of the summer house. I think they should do a show with the girls from the show and have them in like the city or something. Because I find the girls to be far more interesting than the guys. But they asked him and he was like, I brought up, there hasn't been any serious talks, but he like brought up one of them to producers or casting, and he was just like, I don't think Paige is like there with her life yet where she would want to do something like that, but I know Lindsay's been hanging around with one of them, and so there's that. And I'm like,
Andy's clocking it.
It's just like she's playing Big Brother, but we all see the moves. We all see the strategy. I should not be able to clock this so easily. It should be a little more swift. But I don't know. So that was Lindsay. Anything else?
No, that was pretty much it. I was just like, why are we giving her a segment? I thought she was busy this weekend.
Yeah.
It didn't really make sense to me. And then I was like, because what did she, I can't remember, but I know she was talking about Carl to her. she was just saying she wanted to like save the energy, and she said something like she felt a way about something about Carl.
I forget.
It was something so silly that I was just like, I was more just like, really, you're talking about him, and not even registering what she had to say.
Yeah, and then even her aunt was just like, I'm so glad y'all aren't together or something. And it's just like, we all are.
Yeah.
I think Gabby didn't have much of this episode.
I only saw her once.
Yeah, which kind of sad, but I like Gabby. It looks like she yells at Jesse in the mid-season trailer, so that's fun.
We talked about Imrul, so it's really just Paige and Craig.
Yeah, Paige and Craig, so a big thing. And other podcasts have pointed this out. Summer House is doing a much better job at showing kind of like the real of the Paige and Craig relationship.
Yeah.
Because Paige is a very like reliable narrator.
Yeah.
And she's willing to say like the truth. So she's talking to Ciara in the bed.
Ciara's like this.
She is.
I was like, you know you have a mic on, right, sis?
I know. Someone was speculating she was like mouthing something.
Oh, okay.
But I wonder what.
Me too, because Paige was like talking, and I was just like, but we hear everything. Y'all are, you're so cute. It's okay. Do what you want.
I love them.
Me too.
I want to have a gossip session with both of them.
Like, just talk about anything. I'll listen.
Right.
I'll add something.
But she's filling Ciara in on the dinner that she told Amanda about, where Craig was like, I just hope you make me a priority. Yeah. And then, so Ciara's just like, he needs to get over it, like all this. And then Paige lets us know that when they got home, he said, I was never going to say on camera how you make more money and like your jobs are like bigger than mine or something like that. It just because it would look bad. And she's like, to you, like that would actually like validate like what I'm doing and that I'm busy and like all this and like my priorities or whatever. And she's just like, am I dating a secret hater? And I'm like, you are.
Ciara's like, yes.
crazy.
Sometimes the closest person to you will hate on you like that.
No, but for real. And then Ciara's in her interview and she's just like, fuck Craig. She shouldn't have to dull her shine because he's lacks confidence.
He's insecure.
And it always just ends up being like the Craig show. And I'm like, that is crazy that he would say that. Like, how would that look bad? You know?
He's insecure. It would make him look bad.
Mm-hmm. And then, like, I saw just a sneak peek of next week's episode. They released, like, the first 5 minutes. And then, and Paige said in her interview, she was just like, I feel like Craig is, like, being mean to me in a very Southern way. Like, he's saying things with a smile. But when he says it, I feel awful about myself.
Aww.
And I'm like, that, because I could imagine, like, him being like, yeah, and then I didn't mention how you make more money than me because that would be bad.
Yeah.
And she's just like, what?
Why would it be bad? Yeah.
Huh?
No, he's an insecure man. And I really love that she is being so honest about how she feels. Like the conversation they had has stuck with her. It bothers her. Obviously, either they haven't hashed it out or she's tried to talk to him about it and he has the same stance. But that's what she's relaying to her girlfriends. And I love this. Like, I think sometimes when you're in a relationship and there's things you're concerned about, you can hide them.
Yeah.
But she's very much like, no, I got to talk about this. And I really respect her for it. Like, you know, she's airing out her grievances to her friends and they're clocking it. Like, no, that's not okay. He should support you. Who cares if, like, you guys have different strengths? That's what makes a pair, like, strong, is that you're good at something, she's good at something else. To be jealous of her making more money is stupid. Because if you get together, I mean, I feel like your lives are merged now. It's both of you are coming up.
Right.
So it's kind of nice. Take some pressure off yourself, Greg. You don't have to be the breadwinner. You don't have to carry everything on your back because you're with this awesome woman who can do things for herself.
Right.
Why is that a bad thing? It's a bad thing because you're insecure about how much you make. You have a personal problem. You're putting it on her, and it's on you.
Those
Go
pillows,
to therapy.
Those pillows ain't got nothing on Giggly Squad and the tours.
Those pillows and the Kyle whatever deal
The
you
not
took.
lover boy sales. The Spritz Society.
It wasn't enough money.
No. And his whole cast is despicable. They like have their Southern Charm after show, and one of the guys, Shep, was just like, I think it's bullshit that Paige never went on cast trips with us and all this just because she was working and doing a stupid ass talk show. Like, you show up for your boyfriend. They're crazy there, Maggie. Like, they're crazy. The comments are roasting him.
You show up for your boyfriend?
I'm like, bitch, if she's busy, it's just like that whole like, oh, the women, they have to like be there for their men and then all that, and they can't be working, and just like you have to drop everything to be with your man.
No.
And it's just like, no.
It's 2025. We are in the age of everybody being able to do everything. So you might have a partner who makes more than you and does different things. That's okay. Like, that's so annoying. That's so annoying.
It's so annoying. And then like, yeah, I think that was kind of it with Paige this episode.
She was more so just like venting.
Yeah, she's just getting the ick from Craig. Anytime he says something, what was it? She was on the bed on her phone, and he was just trying to talk.
She's like, lay back and get on your phone so I can be on.
She was like, where's your phone?
He's like, here.
She's like, okay, now lay back. And then look at it.
It was giving like, can you just like shut up for a little bit?
Right.
Get on your phone.
It's crazy too, because it's just like, so maybe he's just so unaware. She like clearly has the ick, and he's just like acting as if like nothing changed.
Or he doesn't care.
Yeah, I don't know.
I love that she's standing up for herself. Do you, Paige? And I like that it's not it, like, when they do break up, they have broken up, but when we see it play out, we will know why. You know what I mean? Like, we've seen the signs from here. I'm surprised she didn't break up with him here.
That part. But I don't know. It seems from that mid-season trailer, something more must be happening too. Or like, because she's like crying to Ciara, and she's like, I'm just worried he's going to call me a fucking bitch or something. I'm like, oh. And then I can only imagine if he saved that I didn't bring up you making more and said that like off camera, I can only imagine what else he's saying off camera.
Yeah, because we've heard him say that. He said he never thought he'd be in a submissive relationship. Whoever knows what that means. You're not even like, who knows what that means. And then like, I just want to make sure you're making time for me, essentially.
Yeah.
I don't want your career getting away. Like, the things that he says already are questioning. So yeah, he probably says worse behind closed doors.
Right. So interested to see more of that.
Ew, get it away from me.
It's the more compelling of all these storylines.
We should, what would Gabby say? Gabby, Windey.
Oh, men. Oh my gosh, no, get it away. I need to introduce Paige to the term misandry. It's what I believe. Craig, you can't handle a woman with a job. Go back to the South, sell your pillows and cry in it. I don't care. Paige, come on the pod. I'm pro Paige. Paige for president.
All of her products made the sales go up immediately.
If she's gonna sell something, I'm gonna buy it.
And you should too if you support women.
And if you don't, off with your head.
I love how you were so on it. Like, I don't know why. I was just like, what would Gabby say here? We need Gabby's words.
We do. We always need Gabby's
We should
take.
start wrapping up the episode.
Yes. What would Gabby say about this? Jesse, ew, I hope you washed in between those toes before you let that innocent person put their mouths on it. But you probably didn't because you're gross and you're disgusting.
I was watching my TV and I said, ew, it's another man.
I was like, a man barefoot on television. Don't do it.
Disgusting.
I hate this. This is awful. Men used to go to war.
And now they sit on TV acting like big babies.
I hate this. And Wes, stop. You can't cry about how you're being perceived while dressed like that. You villainized yourself with that outfit.
Get a haircut and have a mature conversation.
We hate this. And guess what, Kyle? No. Craig? Oh. And
And with that being
and she's
said,
like, scene. With that being said, before we log off, I do want to give a shout out to you don't watch Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, but Garcelle Beauvais recently quit the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, and it makes me sad. And
Why?
she says it was because of she's just in a new chapter. She has a lot of development deals with Lifetime. She wants to be there for her kids entering their senior year in high school, all this stuff, which I do believe. But then the reunion trailer dropped and she walked out and quit on the reunion.
Ooh.
And
Why?
so I think that a lot of people are coming for her. We have to see the details of it, but I think she just felt like she was being villainized, even though she's not the villain. And she was just over it. And it's pretty loaded. She's had a lot of issues with the cast in the past because Garcelle was the first Black housewife of the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. And she was the only one. So now this past season, they have Beauvais, who also is Black. And she's kind of been on... she's been a fan favorite, but the audience has kind of tried to like pin them against each other kind of too.
Yeah.
They really treat it like, oh, we like not all the audience, but like the haters are just like, well, we like Beauvais, so Garcelle can go. And it's just like, well, that's racist and wrong. And Beauvais would very publicly be like, why do one of us have to go? Why can't one of the white girls go?
Right.
And so there's been that, but apparently her and Garcelle get into it at the reunion, rumored.
Oof.
Beauvais did get close with Dorit, who Dorit and Garcelle have had problems in the past because Dorit has had some microaggressions, and Garcelle has called her out for them.
Good. Those aren't fun.
And so there's all of this. And so Beauvais and Erica Jane were on Watch What Happens Live, and it was the worst vibes. Like they were kind of giving Mean Girls, and like Andy asked like, oh, what do you feel about Garcelle exiting? And they were like quiet and didn't say anything. And then they were like, Beauvais was like, well, look, I'm disappointed and all this. And then Erica was like, won't he do it? And like saying something. It was awful.
I don't like that.
No. And then Erica tried to shade Garcelle and was just like, you need to do more than buying a beach house in Bakersfield and all this.
Ooh.
And I'm like, well, Erica, she bought her second home while you're renting a home because you're broke, because your husband is a fraud and stole funds from orphans and widows and plane crash victims. Your whole life is actually rooted in that because he bought you a pop career off stolen funds, and your whole status prior to getting on the show was elevated because of stolen money, and it was because of these victims. Whereas Garcelle is a very successful actress and businesswoman and was able to buy these homes with her hard-earned authentic funds, not fraudulent funds, real money that she earned, unlike you. And that's why you're really upset. And I know it is, because she can walk out of the show. You couldn't walk out of the show. You stayed there because you had to, because you needed money. She has money elsewhere, so she can leave and you can't. And that's why you're really mad.
And that's on T.
And that's on
period.
T. And that's on. With that being said, thank y'all so much for listening to The Shade of It All. We appreciate it so much. Make sure you rate and review us on Apple Podcasts and Spotify.
Stars.
Leave us a review on Apple Podcasts. We love to shout those out. You can leave Spotify comments on the episodes. We love those too. If you want to see our beautiful faces instead of just listening to our beautiful voices, hello, we have a YouTube channel. Subscribe to it at The Shade of It All Podcast. We post clips on TikTok at The Shade of It All Podcast, Instagram at The Shade of It All Pod, and we'll see y'all next time. Bye.
Bye.